Hello everyone, nice to have you join us on the program TVN Business Time. It's a program where we take you to the world of business, not just in the local scene but in the international scene. We tell you everything you need to know that is trending in business. And of course, don't forget that we also take a peep at the Asian market index as at the close of business yesterday, and of course what is happening this morning. We also look at the US market, not forgetting our own stock exchange, as well as the value of the currency with some major currencies across the globe, talking about the exchange rate of the Naira. My name is Nten Ekpang and I'm happy to be your host this morning. Now let's look at the headlines for today. Since as investors shun direct cash settlement initiative, banks refund 654 million on the currency. Bank profits jump by 23 to $1.6 billion. And of course, Sky bidding war erupts with $22 billion format bid for Comsat. Those are the headlines we have for you this morning. And let's go to the details of those stories. First on the list, SEC laments as investors shun direct cash settlement initiative. And according to that report, investors have shunned the direct cash settlement DCE this year is introduced by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and the Nigerian Stock Exchange (NSE) to end the incidence of unauthorized sales of investors' shares. Lamenting this development, Acting Director General of SEC, Mary Uduk, said that only 1,191 investors have subscribed to the initiative out of 5.1 million accounts domiciled in the Central Security Clearing Systems (CSCS). Nigerian Stock Exchange (DCS) is an initiative that allows proceeds from sales of investors' shares to settle directly into the accounts, as against the system whereby the proceeds go to the broker's account before passing it to the investor. The DCS, which commenced last year, has been voluntary but was made compulsory by the Commission starting from September 2017. Speaking at the Post-Capital Market Committee first quarter media briefing, Udu called for collaborative efforts among all stakeholders in the market to achieve the objective of the DCS, noting that only 15 out of 18 settlement banks have contributed to the DCS initiative so far, and called for collaborative efforts among all stakeholders in the market to achieve the objective. She said SEC is working with various trade groups and other self-regulatory organizations in the market to adopt electronic initial public offerings (IPOS). Now let's move to the next story for today. Banks refund 654 million excess charges to Federation account. And that report says the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics (NBS) has said that banks have refunded 654.49 million excess charges deducted from government bank accounts related to the Federation accounts. The Bureau disclosed this in its Federation Accounts Allocation Committee Fact Disbursement Report for March 2018. The Bureau said that 654 million excess bank charge refund was part of the 647 billion disbursed by FAC to the three tiers of government as statutory allocations for March. Commenting on this development, President Bank Customers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Uju Ogbonka, said it is confirmation of the reality of the problem of excess bank charges, adding that it's time the federal government introduced sanctions against banks involved in the unwholesome practice, Ogbonka stated. This confirms the fears and agonies that bank customers have been passing through and have been complaining, but nobody seems to be interested in listening to us, let alone do something. Now that it has hit the government account, perhaps they will know what to do and that the complaints are real, and also take action to stop this unwholesome practice. He said that it's like you give a dog something to keep and then the dog comes around to eat it. It's betrayal of confidence to the highest level, a betrayal of trust to the highest level, and such unwholesome practice should have been quickly taken care of. Now to the third story for today. Shareholders laud Access Bank's 5-year strategy dividend culture. That report says that the shareholders of Access Bank PLC have commended the lender's 5-year strategic objective, saying the plan will continue to enhance the bank's operations and ensure a more impressive dividend payout. The views of the shareholders were expressed at the bank's annual general meeting held in Lagos on Wednesday, that's yesterday. In addition, the bank's consistent dividend policy was lauded by the shareholders, who also expressed gratitude to the board on surpassing the 4 trillion naira mark on the bank's balance sheet. During the 2017 fiscal year, the board declared and paid an interim dividend of 25 kobo per share for the half year ended June 30, 2017. The board also declared a financial dividend payment of 40 kobo per share, bringing total dividend for the year ended December 31, 2017 to 65 kobo per share. The bank posted gross earning growth of 20% from 381.1 billion in 2016 to 459.1 billion in 2017. Shareholders' funds and customer deposit climbed by 13.4% and 7.5% from 454 billion in 2016 to 515 billion in 2017 and 2.1 billion in 2016 to 2.2 billion in 2017 as profit respectively. And let's move ahead one step closer. The next story has it that SEC confirms talk with MTN Group on $500 million public offer. And that report says the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC on Wednesday confirmed that MTN Group has finally commenced discussions with the Commission on its proposed $500 million initial public offering IPO. A senior management staff of SEC who pleaded anonymity told reporters in Lagos that MTN had commenced discussion with the Commission on the IPO. The source said that although talks were ongoing, the company was yet to formally file its application for the IPO. He said the Commission was committed to investors' protection and that their interests would be protected in the ongoing discussion. The source said SEC would remain committed to the development of the nation's capital market and listing of more multinationals. Another source at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, who declined to be mentioned, also said that the NSE had not yet received an official filing from the company. There were reports recently that MTN Group Limited was perfecting plans to raise about $500 million from the sales of shares in its Nigerian business in the first half of 2018. Standard Bank Group Limited and Citigroup Incorporated had been advising MTN on the disposal of as much as 30% of its Nigerian unit on the NSE. MTN had agreed to list the Nigerian unit as part of June 2016 agreement to pay $1 billion fine for missing a deadline to disconnect unregistered subscribers amid a security crackdown. While MTN recently appointed the Nigerian investment firm Chapel Hill Denham as lead manager for the planned sale of $500 million shares in its Nigerian business during the first half of the year 2018. Those are the stories on the local business, and we're going to take a break now. When we come back, we're going to bring you international business news. Stay with TVN Business Time. Don't go away. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Welcome back to TVN Business Time with me, Ten Epang. Just before the break, we brought you local stories in the business scene. Now let's look at what the international business scene is about this morning. And on the headlines, earlier on, as we mentioned, Lloyd's Bank profits jumped by 23 to $1.6 billion. That story has it that Lloyd's Banking Group has said it has made a strong start to 2018 with profits for the first 3 months of the year jumping by nearly a quarter. It made pre-tax profit of $1.6 billion, 23% higher than the same time last year. But it said it has put aside another $90 million in cost for payment protection insurance PPI mis-selling claims, taking its total bill to $18.8 billion. The government sold its last shares in Lloyd's in May 2017, 8 years after pumping in $20 billion to save it. Chief Executive Antonio Hortara Osorio said the result continued to demonstrate the strength of business model that they have. Lloyd is UK's biggest mortgage provider, and Mr. Hortara Osorio was upbeat on the state of the economy. However, overall bad loans rose to $258 million during the first 3 months of 2018, compared with $127 million at the same time last year. Moving to the next story now, Airbus and Dassault join forces to build next fighter aircraft. And according to that story, rivals Airbus and Dassault Aviation have struck a deal to develop and produce Europe's next generation of fighter aircraft. Franco-German Airbus is part of the consortium behind Eurofighter, while France's Dassault makes the Rafale jet. The two companies said their European Future Combat Air System FCAS would replace the existing planes by 2040. They said the deal will secure European sovereignty and technological leadership in military aviation. The French and German governments have yet to set out the exact requirements for the program, which will also include the manufacture of drones and communications technology. And the two companies have yet to decide which of them will take the lead role in the huge project. Airbus Defense and Space Chief Executive Dirk Hawk said that whether the French and German governments involve Britain in future projects will likely depend on the conditions around its exit from the European Union. And moving to the next story now, Shire recommends Takeda's revised $46 billion takeover offer. Well, some pharmaceutical giant Shire will recommend a revised $46 billion takeover by Japan's Takeda Pharmaceuticals to its shareholders. The development marks a breakthrough in the takeover talks, which included 5 offers by Takeda since late March. The sweetened cash and stock offer will provide $30.33 in cash for each ordinary share. It's approved by investors. If approved by investors, the acquisition will be the largest takeover by a Japanese firm. Shire shareholders would own nearly half of the combined company, and the new Takeda shares will be listed in Japan and the US. Excuse me. The Irish drug maker said in a statement, the firm added that it was setting a new deadline of 8 May for the negotiations to be concluded, and said that it could be extended further if the need arises. And taking you now to the next story, Sky bidding war erupts with $22 billion formal bid for Comsat. Well, that story says US cable television giant Comsat has made a formal $22 billion bid for Sky that values the UK broadcaster at $12.50 a share. The move threatens Rupert Murdoch's attempt to take full control of the pay TV group. The media mogul's 21st Century Fox has already agreed to buy the 60OF Sky. It does not only own an offer worth about $19 billion. Sky said it was withdrawing its recommendation for the Fox bid following Comsat's move. Sky shares closed 3.4 higher at $13.59, more than one above the Comsat's offer, suggesting a bidding war for control of Sky Cloud erupt. Disney, which struck a $66 billion deal with Fox in December to buy most of its entertainment assets, could also make a play for Sky. Comcast, the biggest US cable TV firm that also owns the NBC network and Universal Pictures, said its bid offered a premium of about 16 to Fox's 10.75 a share offer. And just before we take on the next break, we're going to go look at what is happening at the stock market, not just in Nigeria. We'll also look at the US market and the Asian market. We'll take a very short break, and when we come back, it's going to be time for the stock market report. Don't go away.
Information remains the bedrock in every stage of development. It develops both the human mind and the society at large. Television Nigerian is here to avail you with that information you need for all-round development through its mind-blowing programs such as news, talk shows, health and safety, governance and politics, sport, entertainment, kids, documentaries, finance, global happenings, human disposition from childhood to adulthood. It's a manifestation of what you see, what you hear, and say. Tune in and stay tuned to TVN, Television Nigeria, broadcast beyond boundaries.
Thanks a great deal for staying tuned. We'll now look at the stock market report for today. Let's begin in the Nigerian stock market and trading about this time right now on the floor of the NSE. The top 5 gainers, the 5 advancers, are 40 oil, that's FO, trading at 47 naira, and its current standing is at 49.95 naira to gain at least 2.25 naira. That's a change of 4.7%. Following 40 oil is Owando. Owando's present change is, or last close is 8.7 naira. Its current change is 9.05, and it has gotten a change of 0.35 naira. That's a percentage gain of 4.02%. Flour mill is next on the gainers table with 31.4 naira last close. Presently trading at 34.45 naira, and that's a gain of 0.35. In percentage is 1.03. Nigerian breweries follows flour mill closely, trading 124 naira 80 kobo, and presently it's at 125 naira, and the gain is 0.2. That's representing a percentage of 0.16. While May Baker is the least on the gainers table, trading 2 naira 60 kobo, presently 2 naira 70 kobo to gain 0.1, and that's a percentage of 3.85. Those are the top 5 gainers for this day trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Let's move to the top 5 losers. The top 5 losers right now, beginning with Dangote Sugar, is topping the list of the top 5, trading at 21 naira 2 kobo. Presently 21 naira, it has lost 0.94, representing minus 0.2. NPF Microfinance Bank is trading at 2 naira 02 kobo. Presently 1 naira 84 kobo. It has changed minus 0.18, was a percentage loss of minus 8.91%. First Bank of Nigeria Holding is the third loser for today, trading at 12 naira 2 kobo. Presently 12 naira 0.5 kobo. That's a loss of 0.15, and the percentage is minus 1.23%. Following FBNH is Honey Flour, that's Honeywell Flour, trading 2 naira 85 kobo. It has dipped down to 2 naira 76 kobo, and that's a change of minus 0.09 kobo. In percentage, it has lost minus 3 naira 16%. And the last of them all is Transcorp. Transcorp is last traded 1 naira 8 kobo. Right now it's trading at 1 naira 73 kobo, and it is a loss of 0 minus 0.07 kobo, and in percentage 3.89. Those are the top 5 losers. And now for the top trades, the most successful trades as at now at the Nigerian Stock Exchange are Diamond Bank. You can see trading from 54 billion moving up onto 106, of course, followed by C Leasing. C Leasing is on 26 and it has moved up onto 34 million. Flour Mill is next on the top trade and it has moved from 9 million up onto 331, and of course Transcorp following there at 5.5, and right now it is at 9.5, while Dangote Sugar is the last of the top tradings today. Now let's go to the Asian markets. Asian market is up next, and of course, as you can see there on the screen that we displayed, the Nikkei 225 index is trading at 22, and right now it has gotten a change of plus 0.47%. That's the Nikkei 225. Now the Nikkei 300 index traded last 348.2, and right now it has gained a percentage of 0.15. And of course the Hang Seng index has lost. It started trading at 30,008, but it's closed at minus 1.06. So the Hang Seng is losing as at today, while the FTSE Straits Times index is also gaining 0.06. The AXX All Ordinaries index is also losing at minus 0.11. The S&P/ASX Mid Cap 50 index in Asia is also gaining this morning at plus 0.02%, while the S&P/ASX 100 index closed on a negative note, and that is at 0.24. Now let's take a look at the US market right now. The US market right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is on a positive note, that 0.25% gain. The Nasdaq Composite Index is on minus 0.05, that's losing. The S&P 500 index is at 0.18. It's on the positive note. The global Dow real-time USD, that's in dollars, is gaining 6%, and that's also affected Nigeria. That's why we're trading on almost 336 naira. And of course, the Dow Jones Utility Average is on a negative note, 0.07%, having started at 694.93. The New York Stock Exchange Composite Index, that's NYSE Composite Index, is also on a positive note at 0.03%. The NYSE, that's the New York Stock Exchange American Composite Index, also on a positive note at 0.76, while the Russell 2000 Index is on a negative note, followed by the PHLX Semiconductor Index, also on a negative note, minus 0.12. The Gold June 2018 is on a positive note, winning plus 0.14%. CBOE 30-year Treasury Bond also closing positive at plus 129, while the CBOE 10-year Treasury note closed on a positive note, also winning plus 1.37%. And that's it on the American stock market. Now let's come back home and look at the exchange rate of the Naira as it stands with 3 major currencies, talking about the USD, US dollars, the Great British Pounds, and the Euro. Well, as we speak right now, as you can see top on the chart, is today is the 26th of April. The Nigerian Naira is changing at 360. That is if you are buying, and if you're selling it, it will be sold at 363 naira, meaning that if you're going to change money from naira to dollar, you will be changing it at 363 naira. Now, the British pound is bought at 500 naira per 1 pound, and it is selling at 505 naira, while the euro is at 440 naira, while selling is at 445 naira. Now those are the 3 major currencies, and that's how the naira is changing for those currencies. Well, that will bring up to the end of the show for today. It's been an amazing time with you talking business. Of course, remember you can sponsor or advertise on this program. All you need to do is visit our marketing department right here at the premises of Televsion Nigeria. You can reach us online. Remember, we're live 24 hours online on Facebook, on YouTube and other social media handles like Twitter and Instagram. Follow us at Televsion Nigeria. Until we come your way again tomorrow, my name is Nten Ekbang. On behalf of all members of the crew, let's remind you the headlines just before we go. SEC laments as investors shun direct cash settlement initiative. Now, second headline for today, we had banks refund 654 million excess charges to the Federation account. On the foreign scene, we told you that Lloyds Bank profits jumped by 23 to $1.6 billion. And finally, we did bring you a report that says Sky bidding war erupts with 22 billion formal bid for Comcast. That's the outlook for today. I do hope you join me again same time tomorrow for